reception that Pedrosa is getting as he comes back to pit lane on that Red Bull KTM, running that new innovative carbon fibre chassis. Absolutely brilliant, that, isn't it, by Pedrosa? Let's go quickly back down to pit lane though, because we have a new all-time lap record. What a performance by Marco Bezzecchi, nursing multiple injuries from his crash in Barcelona, but he's a record breaker on Friday here in Misano. We've got, I'm sure, an overjoyed Mini 46 Ducati boss Pablo Nieto with Jack.
Pablo, what a job by Marco. He's battered, he's bruised, he's 100%, but he's now the fastest ever man around Misano. How did he do that?
It's amazing. He's not 100%, so it's incredible that he made this lap. Anyway, I'm very, very happy for him, because after the weekend that we did in Barcelona, it's nice to start like this our home race. So let's see.
Congratulations, well done.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks to Pablo Nieto. A different breed, these guys, aren't they? No question. They're not just supremely talented, it's how they come back, both mentally and physically, from such adverse circumstances. What a great shot that is, as we see Bezzecchi, Bagnaia and Marini, part of the fabled VR46 Academy, come back into pit lane together. Look at that. Pecco Bagnaia, he is really pumped. He wanted that. He wanted that top 10 more than anybody else, because he could ill afford for his body and his brain really to go into that first 15-minute session tomorrow morning. There's Valentino Rossi's lifelong buddy, of course, now such an integral part of the management at Muni VR46. And quite rightly, Marco Bezzecchi taking the huge plaudits of his team, because that 1:30.846 was not just a record-breaking lap, but when you take into consideration just how beaten up he is, he took multiple hits in that first corner pile-up in Barcelona. He's got a problem with his right leg, his right hip, his left hand.
Hand's the one that's going to make the problem too, riding. And so I'm really impressed, because this young man's impressed me plenty of times already the last 2 years, Marco Bezzecchi, but today with an injury, never more.
This was the Pol Espargaro crash.
This left-hander, that's the same one that caught his brother, is it?
It was, yeah.
And it's the first left for some time, and even though it's 30 degrees ambient out there, the rubber is made, to be really working, and you haven't been on the left side for a long time, and it's normally what catches the riders. The rubber isn't quite up to temperature.
Turn 15, yeah, not the corner that the Espargaro brothers will be happily talking about in the motorhome tonight, will they? Raul Fernandez, he took a late tumble as well at turn 14. Top job by Raul though. He's inside that top 10. He goes through to Q2, I think for the very first time in his MotoGP career. It has never happened. No wonder he's got a big smile on his face with his crew chief Noé Herrera. That's a top ride, that, by Raul Fernandez, and we shouldn't be too surprised, because he was 5th this morning, and he's into Q2 then for the very first time in what's going to be his 29th Premier Class start,
which is longer than I expected. How about you, Matt?
Absolutely, yeah.
He was a really good rider in Moto2, so kind of expected it to come even last year.
And there is the boss, Razlan Razli, understandably very, very happy with his man's work, because Miguel Oliveira had a tough old day. Not sure what happened to the Portuguese man. A 1:32.354 left Miguel way down. Aleix Espargaro then just walking out. It looks like he's maybe just tweaked his neck there, because this is a fast get-off, isn't it? Pitched it in to turn 15. His brother Paul was a lot further around. There you can see the onboard camera quickly dispatched from the seat unit, and a couple of heavy barrel rolls there. Shaken and stirred, wasn't he, Aleix Espargaro? Bezzecchi though with an all-time lap record, but third at the end of day one here in Misano is Dani Pedrosa. What a star performer he was on a brilliant Friday. What a way to kick off this Grand Prix of San Marino. Then another all-time lap record on the Friday goes the way of Marco Bezzecchi, and that standing 1:30.846 puts him just over a 10th clear of Viñales. Pedrosa, absolutely sensational for him to be inside that top 3. Ahead of Martin, Marini, Marc Marquez, Bagnaia, the world champ. What a resolute performance that was by Bagnaia to take 7th ahead of Alex Marquez. Binder and Raul Fernandez into Q2 for the very first time in MotoGP. Look at the names that are going to be in Q1 tomorrow morning. The Espargaro brothers, Quattararo, who was world champion here 2 years ago in 2021. Stefan Bradl was there in 15th place, just ahead of Piro, who topped the timesheets this morning. Problems going on for the Hondas of Nakagami, Mia, Takahashi, the replacement rider for Alex Rins, 24th. Johan Zarco, we haven't mentioned much of the Frenchman, have we, so far this weekend? He was down in 18th place. Nothing really going for the Prima Parent Ducati man. He was nearly a second away from Marco Bezzecchi's best pace. Here's your lap summary then for Marco Bezzecchi. When he went late on for a couple of high-speed runs on the soft rear tyre, his best.
Welcome to the R world. Connect with the R spirit.
Yamaha, semakin di depan. Full gaspol.
Brimo Festival telah hadir. Buruan ikutan. Download Brimo ke ponselmu sekarang. Buka tabungan BRI. Perbanyak transaksi dan tambah terus saldomu. Ada banyak voucher belanja yang bisa kamu dapatkan cuma dengan meridim BRI poin kamu. Dapatkan juga cashback setiap saat kamu membayar dengan kris Brimo. Dan ada hadiah undian mobil listrik keren yang ramah lingkungan. Hanya di Brimo Festival.
Kembali ke alam dan mengenal permainan tradisional. Jadi cerita seru tersendiri bersama anak-anak desa yang selalu bersemangat. Dolanan, Kamis dan Jumat, pukul 6.30 waktu Indonesia Barat, hanya di Indie Kids. Setiap hari pukul 18.30 waktu Indonesia Barat, hanya di Indie Kids. Pasukan Roh Garuda selalu jadi pemberani dan setia kawan. Siap menumpas kejahatan demi kedamaian.